going on, YouTube? Yeah, man. So I want to talk about this Ward versus Sergey Kovalev thing, man, and this whole America versus Russia blame game that's been going on with Sergey Kovalev that he's been throwing out there. He mentioned up in the ring and stuff like that. He mentioned it in the post-fight interviews and whatnot. So I want to talk about that. So I'm gonna go over a few things. First off, I want to say thank you to all the new subscribers, man. Um, this topic is not very popular. The whole war versus Kovalev thing. Looks like I lost a subscriber over it, man. But it's whatever, man. I keep it real, bro. So, yeah, I don't do it for subscribers. I do it for interactions, man, for people to listen to what I gotta say. And yeah, it takes me time to get those nuggets out or whatever like that, to get my points out. But it's like fine wine, man. It gets better with time. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, shouts out to Mini Max Boxing, man. So shouts out to him. He had a few words on his YouTube channel and stuff like that. Nothing negative or anything like that, but he's a little dude, and he seemed a little bit upset, and everything like that. And he started going with the whole American Russian thing, and him being a young man, I'm not I'm not mad at the dude, because he's a young man. He's passionate, man. It's more pure when you're young. A lot of stuff comes from the heart. It's pure. So you feel little dudes like that. You know what I'm saying? And any little guy, any little kid, and stuff like that. I remember one. I think it was like Alabama football game, and I think Alabama lost. It was some years ago, man. This kid was just like crying. And I remember that, man, because I remember, like, I was so upset when Mike Tyson lost to Buster Douglas. And I was like, oh, man, it was like the end of the world. So I feel him on that, man. But as far as the other folks listening to this, is primarily grown folks on my channel that subscribe to my channel and stuff like that. So let's talk about some grown man stuff. So hopefully Mini Max is listening to this, so he listens to some grown man stuff and get a different perspective on this, because you only get this knowledge and stuff like that as you get older and stuff like that, and you start peeping game, what's really going on and what life is really all about and stuff like that, because you got a lot of people taking advantage of folks with this whole nationality thing, the whole race thing, and stuff like that, and politics and stuff like that. And what you really gotta do is pretty much look out for yourself, not put so many labels on yourself, and be so blinded by these labels and stuff like that you putting on yourself, where you miss out on an opportunity, okay? On a good, genuine opportunity. Alright. Now, in saying that, we had this thing going on. Like I said, I've been following politics and stuff like that. And you have to say that Sergey Kovalev was pretty much playing a lot of politics after the loss, man. I was gonna explain how he lost, to Andre Ward. I'm pretty sure he had this thing, an excuse in his head before going into the fight. So here it is, Sergey Kovalev, unified champion, not the lineal champ that he wanted to belittle and disgrace. They say he apologized for that. I'm not saying he's a racist or anything like that. But we can say he's been racially insensitive. Okay. Now, as far as the whole race thing, I'm gonna get on that real quick. I might as well knock that out of the ballpark since I mentioned it. I don't. He might be prejudiced, but I don't think Sergey Kovalev is racist. Okay, racist is something like not giving nobody an opportunity when you know they're the best. He doesn't have an all white crew. And I read up on his manager and everything like that, and one of his first trainers was Don Turner. It wasn't Abel Sanchez. It was Don Turner. He schooled him up since '09. So it was Don Turner sharpening up his skills. As far as him dealing with Abel Sanchez, I don't know when that happened or anything like that. Well, from what I'm reading from this fightnews.com, reading up about Sergey Kovalev's manager. Was it Angus? What's this guy's name? Angus Clemens. Don Turner put him on, and Angus went to Russia, met with Sergey, put him in camp with Don Turner. Don Turner worked with him, trying to polish up his skills for 3 years, and it was only to 2012 when they were searching for a promoter. Nobody really wanted Sergey Kovalev, but it was in 2012 he met up with Kathy Duva in main events. Okay, that's a long time to be working with somebody and you're supposed to be, a supposed racist and stuff like that. Okay. So I think he's racially insensitive. Not saying he ain't got no prejudice or nothing like that, but he grew up in Russia, and the deal with Ishmael Salak and stuff like that. So he probably prejudiced, but he wasn't. If he was racist, he wouldn't have worked with Don Turner. Period. Okay. Now he might have a prejudice, but like I said, him paying them money, Don Turner, Abel Sanchez, and Don David Jackson, him paying them money coming out of his pocket or whatever like that, shows some form of respect. You know what I'm saying? That when you gotta pull money out of your pocket, you gotta pay some guy. That's respect. So at least he respects other minorities, because this is three minorities, so-called minorities, or people of color of a darker hue than himself, that he been working with his whole boxing career. Okay, he hasn't been working with Freddie Roach or any of the other Goose and Tudor or any of these other Teddy Atlas. He hasn't been working with any Caucasians. Okay, people of a lighter hue since he's been here in the United States of America. Okay, so that's out of the way. Now, where he messed up at, where he's really messing up at, is that, we just had this election and everything, with the presidential election, okay? So it's a national thing going on, okay? It's you got to pay attention to where you at and stuff like that, what country you coming from, like the Philippines and stuff like that. They got their whole national thing going on with this new president. You got the whole immigration thing over here in the U.S. Everybody wants to come here and make $1. Okay, it's one of the dollar is and I mentioned this in the comment with Mini Max, man. So the dollar is it might not be the most high value, but it's number one as far as trade. Okay, people trade off the back of the greenback. Okay, it's backed off of oil. So that's why they got rid of, not talk about politics, but man, that's why they got rid of Gaddafi. You know what I'm saying? He's about to back his money with gold. And they was like, nah, man, we're going to back this it's the dollar, and the dollar is backed by oil. That's how this currency thing is going on. Okay, so we trade in dollars. Okay, so in saying that, Sergey Kovalev, he messed up in the post fight by saying, you know, it's because I'm Russian, I lost. Okay, and once he said that, man, you heard nothing but boos. Nothing but boos. You heard boo. Right? And I could have sworn before that, man, I heard a lot of people cheering for him until he said, because I'm Russian, he's the golden boy American, and because I'm Russian, I lost. He lost a lot of support after saying that. You can't, you can't say that, man. You know, that's the last thing you want to be seen as being the Russian fighter, when a lot of people identify you for just being Caucasian. You know what I'm saying? It's like, what are you doing? It's like you creating suicide, political suicide within the realm of boxing. Like, you already, it was already a good fight. It was a close fight. You got the rematch clause thing going. A lot of people was on your team because they identify with you based on who you are as a person. A lot of people identify you for whatever reason. Though, you had a group of people, especially Americans, since you've been like Kathy Duva said, you've been fighting in America for the past 4 years. So why would you do something like that and separate yourself from the public? Doing that whole national thing. You know what I'm saying? Especially during the presidential election. So, yeah, man, I don't think, what's his name is a scholar. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to think about it. The Klitschko's, they weren't so hot over here because even though they're European, they're like Eastern European. That's from the Ukraine. A lot of Americans can identify with them. He was a foreigner. Dude was a foreigner. They didn't see him as one of theirs. Dude was an outsider. I mean, hell, you got Andre Ward having a hard enough time getting enough fan base and popularity, and he lives in the United States of America. Hell, he was born in the United States of America, Won a gold medal. Hell, he's a U.S. Olympian. He's got his own struggles in America. This is a melting pot. So, if anything, Kovalev sort of shot himself in the foot on that, man. He should have kept his mouth shut and just appreciate the fact that he's living here, making good money. He's been here since about 2009. It was an American or Americans that pretty much gave not only his manager an opportunity, but worked with him for 3 years, longer than that, since 2009. What is it? 7 years? Giving him an opportunity for him and his family to make good money. And he's gonna pull out the whole nationality thing. Oh, because I'm a Russian. Make it seem like he's a victim when actually he's been treated very, very well, and he got the HBO contract and everything. He shot himself in the foot with that, man. Shot himself in the foot with that. Shouldn't have done it. But Kathy Duva, credit to her, had to do damage control. She had to do damage control on the fly. With him making that comment, him getting booed and everything, man. Yeah, Sergey Kovalev is very unappreciative And he's got a little boy and everything like that. More than likely born here in the United States of America. And more than likely with his parents, for sure I know Sergey Kovalev, born in Russia, has the opportunity, if not already, has dual citizenship. Right? Sergey Kovalev was born in Russia, son born in the United States of America. I'm sure Putin, like many other, I'm sure Russia, like many other countries who have citizens that reside in another country, that give birth to children, allow those children to become U.S. citizens, just like here in the United States of America. I mean, no, not U.S. citizens, but citizens of their parents' native country. They become citizens, just like here in the United States of America. If your parents are born in the U.S., you're born in China, you have great chance of becoming an American citizen. Just gotta get the paperwork done. So I don't know why he did that, man. That was very foolish of him. But we know what this is really all about, man. This is about money and pride, and respect. It's about money and power, man. It's about money and power. A lot of people identify with Sergey, but Sergey blew it, man, when he claimed the whole Russian thing. He had a lot of people in his camp, but they jumped ship now with the whole Russian thing. And now you got a lot of guys coming out with it's because he's a Russian and all the other stuff. And he just killed people off his team. Now he just put people on Ward's team, man. Because now a lot of people are going to identify with Ward. Because he put out Ward's accolades. He said, the gold medalist, American. A lot of people can identify that with that. Because he's American. America's number one. And he reminded a lot of people who Andre Ward was. And what he is and what he did for his country. He won a gold medal. And he defeated Goliath, the foreigner, the Russian, the enemy. Ain't that what they've been saying this whole time? Like Russia's been interfering with the election and everything. They've been saying that this whole time, man. Russia's been interfering. Russia's the enemy. Russia's the enemy. Russia's the enemy. All in the news, and he goes out and says, it's because I'm Russian. Well, if that's the case, I'm pretty sure a lot of people just lost sympathy for you. And they surely did when they booed and said, yeah, you're right. You're the Russian. You're the foreigner. You're the outsider, man. We can't trust you. You're the Eastern European guy. You're not even Western European. You're Eastern European. And there's a difference. A lot of people don't know what to think, especially in the age of the colonies and stuff like that. Western Europe, it's the reason why they had two popes and everything. I don't want to get all the history and stuff like that, but he had they had Eastern and Western Europe, and even though they're Caucasian and stuff like that, the Eastern Europeans are more aligned with the Asians. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, if you look at the Ukraine, if you look at GGG's outfits and stuff like that, his attire of his native country, what does that mostly look like? All the hats and stuff like that. What do they have? It looks like more of Middle Eastern and Chinese and stuff like that, Mongolian and stuff like that. All their attire looks more Asian. It doesn't look Western. Okay? You know what I'm saying? He shot himself in the foot on that, man. But yeah, we know it's about money, women, and power, man. He must have been he must have felt really salty, man. He's got this baby boy on the sideline and his woman watching him, and he had to come up with something, but he couldn't be classy and just say, hey, I was bested by Andre Ward. Like, the close rounds go to the champion or something like that. He could have said something, anything but that. But credit to Kathy Duva. Let me move along here, man. This video's probably kind of long. Let me get on to Kathy Duva, man. Kathy Duva. I know she killed the Donna Superman Stevenson fight, but she tried her best. And is trying her best to keep the numbers up. I don't know what the pay-per-view numbers are going to be or anything like that, but she's trying her best to keep the rematch alive, man. She tried her best to keep the rematch alive. Go to Fight Hype. I think she was on Fight Hype and Fight Hub. Look at the post-fight press conference and stuff like that. Listen to what she says versus what Kovalevs says. Okay? As far as injuries and stuff like that, before she even knew this dude was even had any injuries or not, she said, no injuries, no excuses. Okay? You know, as far as Sergey seen as a Russian fighter, she said, this is her words, man. Sergey is not seen as a Russian fighter. Only fought in Russia once in the last 4 years, and that was a stretch. That was a stretch, man. Like, they couldn't barely get him to forget. Who he fight? Isaac Chilemba? Yeah, that was his last fight. Isaac Chilemba, terrible fight. That fight almost didn't even go through. I think that they had trouble, like, finding out how they're gonna get the venue and all that other stuff. You know, they wanted him to have like a welcome home party. They can barely do it. Yeah, man. He ain't fought in Russia, like she said, in the past 4 years. That was 2011, December 5th, 2011. Other than that, he's been fighting in the U.S. Yep. Yeah, man. But moving along, Kathy Duva said he's an American fighter. He's not a Russian fighter. The only thing she blamed Ward for is using MMA tactics. Other than that, that was it. That's the only thing she used. You know, the same old crap about the he's running and all this other stuff. He got knocked down in the second round. But other than that, she said no excuses for an injury. No excuses about Sergey Kovalev being a Russian fighter. He's an American-based fighter. And no excuses with the judges. She ain't put no blame on the judges. She's like, no. She didn't want no problems with the judges. This is Kathy Duva, man. So, I'm going to leave it at that, man. I wanted to go in depth a little bit more. Probably wanted to be more patriotic and stuff like that. But I didn't want to do that, man. I wanted to be more mature. You know? I want to be more mature in regards to this. But, yeah, man. As far as Sergey Kovalev being a Russian and stuff like that, he's not in Russia no more. He's in America. Okay? You know, it's okay to identify as Russian, but, you know, you're an American now. And in America, you're free, man. Free to voice your opinions, man, but you gotta pay for them. You gotta pay. You know what I'm saying? Every man is wise when he keeps his mouth shut at the end of the day, man. Every man is wise when he keeps his mouth shut. And Sergey Kovalev was best served for keeping his mouth shut, especially being in a foreign country. That was something he should have said to the Russian press, even though it probably would have got back over here or something like that. But that's something you do when you're at home, okay? If you're not at home and you in someone's backyard, and that someone's backyard is your bread and butter, keep your mouth shut. Respect their cultural norms and their customs, and keep your opinions to yourself. Keep your opinions to yourself, and make sure that money's coming in so you can take care of your kids and stuff like that. That's what you gotta be focusing on his paycheck. Cause last time I checked, Andre Ward is getting $5 million, and this guy was getting $2 million, and he had all the belts. Well, he's got nothing now. He's got nothing. I don't know how many sponsors he had on his trunks, but all I saw, I think he had Hobart or something like that on his trunks. Did he? That watch company. He had like a little sponsor and stuff like that, but that's what he had to be building up his sponsorship and getting his money right. Other than that, doing that whole American thing, that's not the time. Now's not the time to be doing that whole American Russian thing, because you're just gonna make yourself look like the bad guy at the end of the day, and you already lost. So the nostalgia is gone. You know what I'm saying? Well, where else you gonna go? Where else you gonna go, man? You supposed to be destroyed. You supposed to. I mean, man, your money is right here in the United States. You ain't like you coming from Russia to America. You know what I'm saying? This ain't no Rocky 4. This ain't no Rocky 4, man. This ain't no what was that guy's name? Ivan Dragoff versus Apollo Creed, man. This ain't no Ivan Dragoff versus Apollo Creed. This is more like Rocky 5, the white kid just trying to get his. You know what I'm saying? That was pretty much. You know what I'm saying? This is more like the Duke trying to get his bread and butter. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, this is more like the Duke trying to eat. That's what it is. More like a Rocky 5, the Duke trying to eat. This ain't no Ivan Dragoff versus, but that's what he made it. Now, if they want to do that for Sergey Kovalev versus Ward 2, yeah, let's hey, why not? Why not, man? Why not? Why not? Why not? But they sort of kind of already did it, didn't they? You can just tell by the poster that's where they had it. Right? Isn't that how they had it? Andre Ward's face covered with the American flag. Sergey Kovalev had his face covered with the Russian flag and stuff like that. Trying to sell some tickets. But yeah, man, don't be fooled, man. Don't be fooled, man. They're just trying to game you, man. They're just trying to game you. Just worry about your money. Just get your money and go home. That's the advice I got for, especially all the young guys and stuff like that. Don't be getting fooled all to that nationality thing. This is about paper. Surely there's like you got a lot of nationality stuff like that and stuff going on, but that's a lot of people ain't getting the money and stuff like that. You gotta, it's the same thing with Jean Pascal and fighting in Canada and stuff like that. Why do you think they was fighting in Canada when Sergey Kovalev was fighting Jean Pascal? Because Jean Pascal had a fan base. think Sergey Kovalev wasn't gonna fight him? Hell, he fought him twice. It's for that money, man. It's for that money. So you think about that, man. Just think about that, man. It's about money, power, respect, and it's about women, man. Don't think it ain't about women. It's about getting at women. That's why a lot of guys that really identify with Sergey Kovalev, they felt kind of salty, because that they the dude they identify with them that they identify with, the dude they saw themselves and just got beat up. He lost. That was their hero. Sergey Kovalev was their hero. And the same thing for, a lot of people who was rooting for Andre Ward. They identified with him some kind of way, whether he was a churchgoer or, the color of his skin, or he's a pure boxer, he's a better all-around boxer and stuff like that. Skills, representing the United States of America. Somebody identified with him in some kind of way, whether he's from Oakland, California, or he just from California. Or Ward bought them lunch one day, or shook their hand, or took some kind of selfie with him. But yeah, man, don't get too emotionally caught up in that. Because what's going to end up happening is just going to lose out on a lot of opportunities. Sergey Kovalev, gave himself an opportunity. He had his manager, Angus Clemens. He reached out to him, and you see how it worked, man. Clemens was hanging around Seattle in some boxing gyms or something like that, trying to be a manager and stuff like that. Don Turner reached out to him. Clemens, him being a Russian or whatever like that, or able to speak Russian or whatever like that, he had him a few fighters and stuff like that, but they didn't work out. But he went all out to Russia, and he was trying to get somebody. He ran into Sergey. He brought Sergey over, and Clemens introduced him to Don Turner. Don Turner was working with Sergey for 3 years, and he even worked with Abel Sanchez. So, what is it really all about? Sergey, he was hurt, man. His emotions, he was hurt that he lost. You know what I'm saying? Dude was hurt. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you got all these people looking for an opportunity right here in the United States of America. You got a Russian, Hispanic guy, Abel Sanchez, who picked Sergey to win, along with trainers Robert Garcia and Freddie Roach. All these guys who are not defensive coaches, but known to be offensive gurus, even with Don Jackson. So, man, yeah, so the whole nationality thing and the race thing is probably the last thing you want to look at. But as far as all these YouTube channels and stuff like that coming out with stuff, that's why you got to be careful what you say, man. You got to be careful what you say. Because here you have Kathy Duva. She did damage control for Sergey. But you have a lot of other people claiming race bias and nationality and stuff like that. When this man flew over to the United States to make it, Remember, no promoter wanted to deal with him. Kathy Duva gave him a chance. A woman running main events gave him a chance, right? But you didn't hear no other Russian promoter trying to give him no chance. You know what I'm saying? Where was Povetkin's promoter? This billionaire. He didn't want to have nothing to do with Sergey Kovalev. Cause remember, Sergey Kovalev took a couple of L's in the amateurs, didn't he? Artur Beterbiev, I believe he probably lost to Ishmael Shalak. That's probably why he was talking junk to him. Yeah, he took a couple of L's in the amateurs. Sergey Kovalev. He wasn't hot. I don't think anybody